The sound is unmistakable, the sharp, rhythmic rip of a plastic mailing bag being torn open in a sunlit bedroom, followed by the soft rustle of synthetic fabric. For a generation raised on the infinite scroll of social media, this is the sensory anthem of the modern era. A high-speed, low-cost revolution delivered in a parcel that smells faintly of industrial chemicals and global ambition. Dawn. To the millions of young consumers navigating the digital marketplace, this isn't just a purchase. It's a democratic triumph where a $5 dress offers the same fleeting rush as a high-fashion runway piece. But if we peer beyond the vibrant filters of the TikTok hauls and the hyper-optimized interface of the world's most downloaded shopping app, we encounter a narrative far more complex and haunting than a simple bargain. This is the story of a digital ghost that transformed into a retail titan, a supply chain that moves at a speed that defies human comprehension, and a hidden, mounting cost being paid by our planet and the invisible hands working in the shadows. 8-1-2-2. This is the story of Shein, the company that didn't just compete with the fast fashion industry, it effectively shattered its foundations. 2-1-3-T. Welcome back to the Null Theory channel. If you enjoy deep, meaningful stories, please take a moment to like, share this video, and subscribe to our channel to support us. The meteoric rise of Shein is perhaps the most improbable business saga of the 21st century, largely because for years, the company seemed to exist only as an algorithm, without a face. Unlike the legendary fashion houses of Milan or the storied retail empires of New York, Shein has no charismatic creative director or iconic founder who courts the limelight. Its creator, Chris Xu, also known as Xu Yangtian, remains a figure of such profound privacy that he is frequently described in industry circles as a mystery or a ghost. Xu did not emerge from the world of textiles or high-end design. He was a specialist in search engine optimization. CLA, master of the invisible architecture that determines what we see when we look into the digital void. 1-14. In 2008, amidst the chaos of a global financial shift, he launched a site called Zisco, which initially found its niche in the highly specific world of wedding dresses. 20. But Xu's true genius lay in recognizing that the future of profit didn't reside in the rare emotional purchase of a wedding gown, but in the addictive, ceaseless cycle of everyday disposable clothing. By 2015, the name was shortened to Shein, and the engine of the world's most aggressive retail machine was ignited, fueled by data rather than fabric. To grasp how Shein managed to conquer the global market, one must first visualize the sheer, terrifying scale of its production cycle. For decades, pioneers like Zara and H&M were the undisputed kings of fast fashion, having revolutionized the industry by narrowing the window between design and shelf to a mere 3 or 4 weeks. 3-T. Shein, however, operates on a temporal plane that makes those giants look stationary. By anchoring its operations in a hyperlocal, decentralized network of thousands of small to medium factories in the Nankun district of Guangzhou, China, Shein achieved the unthinkable. A turnaround time of just 3 to 7 days. In the humid, neon-lit alleys of Guangzhou, the air is thick with the scent of ozone and steam, and the hum of sewing machines provides a constant vibrating heartbeat. This isn't traditional manufacturing. It is real-time fashion. Shein's proprietary algorithms scan the internet like a digital dragnet, harvesting search data, competitor price points, and social media trends in real time. Before a specific aesthetic, be it cottagecore or cyberpunk, has even peaked on a teenager's feed in Ohio, Shein's factories have already produced a micro-batch of 100 units. If the data shows a spike in interest, the production lines ramp up instantaneously. If not, the design is discarded into the digital bin. 5e. It is a brutal Darwinian system where only the most viral survive. However, This unprecedented speed requires a level of human and environmental endurance that is almost impossible to reconcile with modern ethics. The dark side of this story begins where the marketing ends, in the cramped, overheated workshops of Guangzhou, where safety regulations often exist only on paper. Undercover investigations have painted a picture of a world that feels like a regressive step into a pre-industrial nightmare. Workers in many of Shein's partner factories have been documented enduring 18-hour shifts, starting before the sun rises and laboring well past midnight. In many of these facilities, workers are granted only 1 day of rest per month, living in a state of perpetual grinding exhaustion. The payment structure is often piece rate, meaning an individual might earn only a few cents per garment, creating a frantic incentive to move faster and faster until the human body begins to fail. These are not the sleek, automated factories of a high-tech future. They are frequently repurposed residential buildings where the pressure to meet Shein's relentless deadlines creates an atmosphere of absolute quiet desperation. The environmental toll of this on-demand model is equally catastrophic, leaving a permanent scar on the physical world. Every single day, Shein adds thousands of new styles to its platform, a volume of production that dwarfs any other retailer in human history. This deluge is made possible by the massive use of cheap petroleum-based synthetic materials like polyester. These clothes are not crafted for longevity. They are disposable, designed to be worn perhaps 2 or 3 times before the seams fray, or the wearer's attention spans to the next trend. When these garments are inevitably discarded, they don't simply vanish. They embark on a journey to the global south. In the Atacama Desert in Chile, what used to be a pristine landscape is now home to mountainous dunes of unsold or discarded polyester clothing. Garments that will take hundreds of years to break down. On the shores of Ghana, the dead white man's clothes wash up in such volume that they clog the beaches and destroy local ecosystems. As these synthetic fibers degrade, they shed microplastics that infiltrate the water supply and the very food chain we rely on. A lasting legacy of a $5 impulse buy. Beyond the physical cost, there is the systematic erosion of intellectual property, a design theft that has become a defining characteristic of the Shein era. For independent artists and small-scale designers, Shein is a predatory shadow. A creator might spend months perfecting an original print or a unique silhouette, only to see a near-identical lower-quality version appear on the Shein app a week later, sold for a price that wouldn't even cover the original designer's material costs. Because Shein is a decentralized global entity with a labyrinthine corporate structure, seeking legal recourse is often a futile and bankrupting endeavor for a small business. It is a system that strips the soul from design, treating creativity as nothing more than raw data to be photocopied and commodified at scale. The true brilliance of Shein, and perhaps its most dangerous weapon, is its profound mastery of the human psyche. The app is not just a store. It is a digital casino meticulously engineered to trigger dopamine releases. Through the use of gamification, countdown timers that create a false sense of urgency, and a relentless stream of points and rewards, Shein transforms the act of consumption into a game. It exploits our deep-seated evolutionary triggers for scarcity and social belonging. Through the Shein Hall phenomenon, the company turned its customers into its most effective marketing department. 2020, young influencers seeking validation and views post videos showcasing massive piles of clothing bought for less than $100, reinforcing the distorted idea that happiness is measured by the sheer volume of things we own. As Shein moves toward a massive public offering on the global stock markets, it has initiated a multi-million-dollar rebranding effort. We see polished advertisements talking about sustainability funds and upgraded factory standards. But But a fundamental question remains. Can a business model predicated on extreme overproduction and ultra-low prices ever truly be sustainable? One, Darash. Is it possible to have a shirt that costs less than a cup of coffee without someone, somewhere, paying the hidden balance? One, two, Indarayan. The success of Shein is a mirror reflecting the deepest contradictions of our modern world, one well. We claim to value the environment, yet our actions show an insatiable craving for the new one well. We advocate for human rights, yet we are lured by the irresistible siren song of a bargain one. We want a better future, but we are often unwilling to pay the true price for it. One. In the end, the story of Shein is a story about the true cost of convenience. One. It serves as a reminder that in our globalized economy, there is no such thing as cheap. There is only a transfer of cost. One. When we save $10 on a dress, we aren't saving money. We are simply passing the bill for labor, environmental degradation, and resource depletion onto the future one. The silence of a Shein package arriving on a doorstep is the sound of a global machine that we have collectively chosen to look away from. As we witness the mountains of discarded polyester and the exhausted eyes of workers in Nankun, we must ask ourselves what our conscience is worth in the marketplace. One. Perhaps the most uncomfortable truth of the fast fashion era is that the machine only continues to run because we keep our fingers on the order button. One. Thank you for joining us on this investigation into the heart of modern consumption. Every purchase is a vote for the world we want to inhabit. Let us choose wisely.